Welcome to the FnF Victory Road Draft League's third place determiner set. This is the set that is going to pit Detroit Dunsparces, which is Startoad's team, versus Appletun Allegiance, which is Colin's team. And they are both fighting to see who gets that coveted third place position. They still have a chance to show that they are in the top three, and they've both come a really long way to make it here. So both have a really good chance of securing that spot. This is a set, so they have to win 2 matches. So there will be at least 1 match after this one, and it'll be really interesting to see how this goes. So first of all, before we begin, as a reminder, the Mega Pokemon are Mega Swampert and Mega Lopunny, respectively. The Z Crystal Pokemon are Zapdos, which is not here, and Porygon Z, which is here, who could use any Z move, likely that Z conversion on Startoad's team. And then on the other team, we have Talonflame, who is absent, and Ninetales Alola, who could use any Z move, who is also here. So this is sure to be an interesting battle. We see Clefairy come for the first time. Actually, a really surprising addition to Startoad's team. But I'm glad that it did come and make an appearance in this technically the losers semifinals set. We have the standard Pelipper, Swampert, Celesteela Core for Startoad. Worked really well for him in the league. Very hard to take down, but we have some competition coming from Rotom-Mow, who is able to handle that core extremely well, actually. Rotom-Mow being able to hit all 3 of them very hard. So Rotom-Mow, a very good choice on Colin's part. I'm curious to see how Startoad's going to take down Rotom-Mow, probably with the use of Goodra. Kyurem Black is also going to be another threatening Pokemon for Colin. So I think Colin's team does have a lot of threats to handle Startoad's team. Startoad's team is going to probably be a little bit more on the defensive, I think, this time around. Colin's going to be a little bit more on the offensive. And then, of course, he has Ninetales Alola to mess with that rain from Pelipper. So this is going to be an extremely exciting match, and I'm curious to see how both of these trainers play. They've come really far, and I'm proud of them both. So let's see how it goes. Got a few people watching, and grand finals might happen today after this, so we'll see how that goes. Two very competitive trainers. I'm actually really curious to see who Startoad decides to lead with. I'm thinking maybe Celesteela. Oh, Porygon Z actually right off the bat. 404 versus Easter, the Mega Lopunny. Porygon Z is not going to want to stick around for a strong fighting move from Mega Lopunny. So it does take the fake out. Oh, but Psychic does big damage, 97%, almost taking down Easter, the Mega Lopunny, who does take it out with a Drain Punch, restoring up to 42%. That Psychic almost hitting Mega Lopunny very hard. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to take it down. Mega Lopunny, very, very scary threat. In comes Nigel the Pelipper. Does have to watch out for Thunder Punch, and exactly Thunder Punch hits, but a Hurricane's going to take down Easter the Mega Lopunny, so it's a 5-5 score, but Colin does have an HP advantage over Nigel. Lane Defender, the Rotom-Mow, comes out. Pelipper can't do much versus here, so Goodra's going to come in and take that Leaf Storm. It doesn't do that much damage. It is not a Sap Sipper Goodra. It is probably Hydration, so Rotom-Mow using Will-O-Wisp or Thunder Wave won't really do much in this scenario. In comes Dragalge, the third Sage, to take a Sludge Wave. It only does 11%. That was a good switch by Colin. A risky one, though, because Draco Meteor would have done massive damage. Both of these dragons have high special defense and decent special attack. Not sure if they could take each other down. I think Dragalge is probably actually the one who is in the advantage state in this matchup. But both have similar attributes to go against each other with. Clefairy could be a safe switch in for the Draco Meteor, but a Sludge Bomb will take down Clefairy Celesteela could also take massive damage from a Thunderbolt, so Startoad's really going to have to weigh his options. Dragalge is actually very good in this matchup if Mega Swampert is not out. And Draco Meteor hits really hard. Once again, 3%. That seems to be the magic number for Startoad. Draco Meteor fired from both sides, and they are both going to recover a little bit with leftovers. Looks like these dragons both had some beef to settle with each other, but an Ice Beam's going to take Dragalge down, and now Startoad takes that Pokemon lead, but still does have an HP... Colin does have an HP advantage over Startoad. In comes Runaway Convict, the Kieran Black. And Tinkerbell, the Clefairy, is going to come in to take on Kieran Black. Critical hit Ice Beam is going to deal pretty big damage, but Clefairy might be able to recover next turn from it if it's not another critical hit. Kieran Black, also an extremely big threat to Startoad's team. Clefairy won't be able to do much offensively aside from Seismic Toss, so I'm wondering if it'll go for the Toxic, or if Runaway Convict is going to try to set up a 101 HP substitute to take a potential Seismic Toss. We do see that Runaway Convict has Life Orb, so it's possible that it doesn't have Substitute, just in case Life Orb and Substitute don't work as well together as perhaps Leftovers would. Clefairy almost certainly has Eviolite attached. I'd be very surprised if it didn't. And a Fusion Bolt's going to hit pretty hard, but Clefairy's going to be able to Soft Boil that damage off pretty easily. I think we could expect to see Scizor come in, and that's exactly what happens. Scizor, Rising Sun. This is a good time for Startoad to send out Celesteela, and that's exactly who comes out. Margaret Thatcher taking the Bullet Punch from Rising Sun, the Scizor. Margaret Thatcher does have access to fire moves, which hits the rest of the Pokemon super effectively, actually, but Leech Seed is the move that Margaret Thatcher decides to go for instead. We could see a potential Volt Switch here as Clefairy comes out. Indeed, Volt Switch is what hits Clefairy to bring Scizor back in Rising Sun. I think Rising Sun might go for the U-turn and keep trying to pivot between Rotom Mow and Scizor potentially. Swampert's the one to come out though, taking that knockoff pretty easily. Swampert's now free to Mega Evolve and deal some big damage. Ninetales Alola comes in. It can't take a hit from Swampert easily though, and Waterfall does big chunk, 71%. In comes Celesteela, and it takes that Freeze Dry pretty easily. I think he was expecting Pelipper to come in, but I think Pelipper should come in when it's safe, aka when Ninetales is dead, just so that I can set up Rain one last time. Aurora Veil is now up, as well as Substitute. Margaret Thatcher is now free to go for that Leech Seed, but it seems like we'll probably get Rotom Mow to come out. Freeze Dry is not going to break that Substitute, but Heavy Slam is going to kill Jake the dog, the Ninetales Alola. Beast Boost is going to raise defense as well. In comes Rotom Mow, Lane Defender. Probably going to go for a Volt Switch, but a switch-in might not be too favorable at this point. And Leech Seed calling out that Volt Switch, but it didn't happen. It's going to be Thunderbolt instead. That is the move that's chosen. In comes Pelipper to set up Rain one last time and take that Thunderbolt. Down goes Nigel the Pelipper. Aurora Veil could last for 1 or 4 more turns. We don't know. I believe that Rain will last for 7 turns. Goodra is the one to come out to take the potential, and indeed, Volt Switch is the move that's used. Scizor is the one to come in, and Goodra goes with the rest. Hydration's gonna allow it to wake up immediately, and Aurora Veil is now gone. Celesteela comes in, and Rotom-Mow comes in. Good call out on the switch by Colin, bringing in Rotom-Mow. 4-3 score. It's still very close, and I think the Pokemon that Colin has left defensively, Rotom-Mow and Scizor, are going to be a very big problem for Startoad to take down. I think even more so than Kyurem Black. Booger the Goodra comes in to take a Volt Switch, and Scizor is probably going to be the one to come out once again. Indeed, it's Scizor stalling out that rain. And Swampert's going to be the one to come in to take a Bullet Punch. Rain is still here for 3 more turns. This is Startoad's swan song here. Roost is going to stall out a little bit of that rain. Waterfall doesn't do enough, but if a flinch happens, that's it for Scizor, so it has to be very careful. Another Waterfall does 58%. More Roosting. Defensive Scizor, interesting. One more Waterfall could be... Ooh, and actually it goes for the Bullet Punch. Waterfall is going to hit, and now Rising Sun's at 27%. It can't take another Waterfall, but the rain is also gone, taking away the boost from Waterfall. I think we could see Rotom-Mow come in. No, actually, Rotom-Mow does not come in Bullet Punch, so now Waterfall takes down Scizor. Clefairy is a lot more free to defend now. Kyurem Black comes in, Runaway Convict. Blue Hulk might just stay out and go for the Earthquake. It can't outspeed Rotom-Mow and Kyurem Black, I believe, without Rain up. Smart by Colin to stall out that rain with Roost. Will it be enough to turn around the battle? The score is 4-2. Startoad's probably weighing his options. Does he go for... Yep, he does trash Mega Swampert to safely bring in the next Pokemon. I think that was the best choice he had. Celesteela might be the one to come in next. Actually, it's Clefairy. And Clefairy is probably going to want to recover while Runaway Convict attacks, because Life Orb is just going to whittle it down. Clefairy is going to be a very strong wall in this matchup. Oh, but it has Roost. So Roost and Soft Boiled is going to cause this match to go a lot slower. Clefairy is going for that Moonblast, 39%. In comes Rotom-Mow, and Rotom-Mow is going to try and deal with Tinkerbell, but Tinkerbell sets up that Calm Mind. Thunderbolt not going to do too much damage, and Clefairy is now free to continue setting up. What Colin needs to pray for is a critical hit at this point. And a critical hit does go, but Softboiled is going to allow it to go back into safety range. Critical hit probably won't be enough now. This is not looking good for Appletun Allegiance. Thunderbolt just being used to try and get Clefairy to go down. Clefairy is very strong at this point, but it is paralyzed. A Moonblast, however, does take down Rotom-Mow, and the last Pokemon is Runaway Convict. Fusion Bolt's going to hit hard, doing 40%, but Clefairy uses Moonblast to take down Kyurem Black, and it's a 3-0 victory for Startoad. Very impressive match, and wow, who would have thought that Clefairy was the one to take it? But Clefairy did extremely well in this match, so that was a very surprising development. Very interesting. So 3-0 for this match and 1-0 for the set so far in favor of Startoad. Colin, it does still have one match to prove himself and change things in his favor. So tune in. There will be at least one more match coming soon, and I'll see you then.